Yo, see if you guys just ever been in a regular conversation, right? And then later on, you get like this epiphany, right? Like a revelation. You're like, how did I not think of that? Because it was the easiest and the absolute hardest thing to do at the exact same time. It happens to me, and I think it happens to a lot of people. We don't even realize it maybe for a day or two. But that's what we're going to talk about on this week's Tuesday Morning Tech Tip from Pugliese Speed Shop. So if you guys have been following along, you know we just finished doing the parking brake on this guy. And I wouldn't say I got my ass kicked, but I've had better days, right? So part of the problem was it was taken apart when I got the truck, which I get it. I bought a project that was like already in work. So that happens a lot. You know, if you buy something that's been sitting forever and was like never touched, you kind of know what you're getting. When you buy something that was like this one, neglected, forgot, all that kind of stuff, maybe along the way some half-ass repairs, and then somebody started tearing apart to rebuild it. Now, they have in their mind what's going on, right? And guys, I have it with every one of my vehicles. I think it's the most organized thing in the world. But about 95% of the people in the world would take one of my projects and be like, what the hell was this guy thinking? Just because different trains of thought or whatever. So, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with the easiest and the hardest thing you've had to do at the same time, right? Which I think that's what I said in the intro. It was a good 2 minutes ago, guys, so I might have forgotten what I was even thinking, which kind of, that could lead into some of the problems we have on why we can't, figure out what we're doing yesterday. If I can remember what I was doing yesterday, how can I remember what that guy was doing yesterday? I don't know. Where was I going with this? I'm going to have to sit down and think about this. Hopefully you guys can help me out. I just did it, guys. That was the single-handedly easiest and at the same time hardest thing to do. Did you even catch it? I asked for help. I'm terrible at it. Absolutely terrible at it. And I don't know why. Maybe I do. Let's see if we can talk through it. Because, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if I had a nickel for every time old Wade said to me, why don't you call me? I'd have an awful lot of nickels, all right? Because I'll catch it up with him later and we're talking about whatever, and I'm telling him what I was doing and why this was a hard time or maybe whatever it was. He's like, why don't you call me? I live, he's around the block. Well, because I figured he's probably busy doing something by himself. He's got projects going on. He's got things to do. He's got a family, right? Does he want to come over here and mess around with my crap all the time? It's crazy, right? Like, he does love coming over here. You guys see that? Guys, that Tundra would still be in pieces if he wasn't over here that night helping me. And I don't ever think to ask him for help because I don't want to be a burden, right? And a lot of people think like this. So, like, I put the video out, right, where I had a hard time figuring out where all the cables went. Nick texted me. He said, why didn't you ask me? I could have gone outside and taken pictures of my truck and sent them to you. And I mentioned possibly going over there, but it was raining, and then he didn't have the part that he thought he had or whatever. So I was like, I'm not going to bother him. But I mean, it's 2025, guys. We have the technology that we could do that. But I don't want to bother him to even go do that because you guys have been over his shop. He's always got something going on. He's working on cool stuff constantly. And do I want him to take a break from that for my stuff that I know I can figure out, guys? Because I got it, right? I mean, I did. I got it. But maybe I could have got it sooner. If you guys remember, couple tech tips ago, I was saying I was actually worried about getting into that because I was afraid of what was going to be in there and I was going to have a hard time. And I got in my head, right? So when I finally got out of my head and jumped in there, I was too proud to ask for help. That's ridiculous. So instead of hitting up my buddy that has, first off, built, well, as Kevin would say, he did this truck. He's done. It was done when I got it, right? So instead of hitting him up, that, you know, he put a lot of wrenches on this thing, and then he has the exact same truck still, like, all together for the most part. Instead of doing that, I took to the internet and scoured for videos of perfect strangers, just like me, that might not know what the hell they're doing. Does that make any sense? Doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know why I do it. I also know I'm not the only one. Because how me and old Wade will catch up, I'll be talking with other guys. Hey, man, we did this, 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 and this. And yeah, no time with that. Oh, you should let me know, man. I got this, I got that. People are always offering, right? But they usually offer after the fact. And it's not because they don't want to help you out. It's because they don't know. How can somebody help you with something you're dealing with if they don't know? They can't just guess. They're not mind readers. Like, the whole psychic thing's not real, guys. So, hope I didn't upset anybody with that. No, I don't care. But, seriously, how would we expect people to know? There's a way you can fix it. Get out in front of it. We had a guy yesterday. I was over at Jay's house, and it was a beautiful day, as you guys are about to see in an upcoming video. Man, I gave it away. Anyways, beautiful day. So, the guys were all out riding, as they should be, as if I didn't already have plans, because I promised Jay, which you guys will see, I would have been as well. Well, everything went well. Nothing bad. Well, nobody's hurt, right? Maybe some pride. We had one of the guys riding home, a bunch of deer jump in front of him, right? He gets on the brakes. His escape route, there's a car in the way, so he's got to hit the woods. Luckily, he's fine. Like I said, a little sore, pride hurt a little bit, not a big deal. But his bike got a little banged up, right? He was able to get home. He's like, oh man, I'm going to have to look, get some parts together and whatnot. Well, if you guys remember, I think I mentioned Nick came over and went through some parts for his FXR. I got some bins full of old parts, not just FXR stuff, but Evo stuff, some twin cam stuff that Kevin had when he was moving to Carolina, and I'm not going to mess with this, I don't want to move it. So I got like 2 or 3 bins of parts back there. So as soon as he sent the text saying I need some parts, I hit him up right away. I said, hey, let me know if you need anything. I got bins full of parts that I'm not going to use, right? They're just here because I don't want Kevin to throw them out. And now I can pay it forward and say, hey. So it's out there. He knows we're willing to help. And he'll hit me up if he needs something. Hopefully I can help him out. But that's, I'm the same way. When old Wade came over here to help me with the Tundra that day, when we did the lift and everything, I didn't say, hey man, you want to help me out? He asked me about 37 times. You want some help? I need some help. How about I help you out, right? And guys, he saved the day because he had, well, first off, that was not a one-man job. And he had some knowledge, he had some experience, he had some tools. He brought a lot of stuff to the table, and we knocked it out. I've been driving the truck on the lift for like a year now, and I absolutely love it. So, huge shout out to him. Why didn't I ask him? That's a question that everybody's got to answer for themselves. For me, I know my excuse is because I don't want to burden anybody. They're probably busy. But I think deep down it's like, I got this. I could do this myself. I don't need your help, And not that I don't want their help. It's just, I don't know. We're jackass macho guys that think we can do whatever we want. And maybe sometimes we forget we're 47 years old, right? Kevin actually mentioned that when we were working on the van. And he went to hook the transmission up to put it into the back of his truck after we were all done. He went to hook it up to the engine hoist. And I said, what are you doing? It's a transmission. I went to grab it. He's like, Chaz, you're the only one in this room right now that has not realized we're old. So before you regret that decision, let me just use this engine hoist. It's right here and everything's, and guys, he was right. I mean, I could have gotten it, don't get me wrong. Not even a problem. But I might have felt a certain way the next day. We'll never know because Kevin saved me from myself. So sometimes, guys, whether it's working on cars, motorcycles, trucks, or just in your everyday life, ask for help. Your friends are there. They know you'll help them. Let them help you. Thanks for watching, guys.